There we go. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the TED Show. You know, I love this series, Spark Faith, with the one and only longtime friend, Dr. Kris Sargent. We're going to talk about Temple of Doom versus Temple of Life. I love this topic. She's going to take a deep dive so that you guys know exactly what she's talking about. And I'm sure she'll educate us. How are you, Kris? Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Yeah, I'm good this week. It feels like things just are so like going fast, but at the same time, like it was so simple and slow and kind of quieter over the weekend. And I stayed off most of my social media as much as I could. And
good for you. Yeah, I feel like I have a shorter week, like I think a lot of people do this week. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do what I normally do, which is try to cram everything I can possibly do in 4 days or 3 days. And just kind of take a breather a little bit and then just get geared up. I think a lot of people, we've talked about this the last couple of times, people are excited for 2021. They are ready to have 2020 in their rear view mirror. And so people are planning, people are doing things. And one of the things that they can do, of course, is take a good, hard look at their healthy or lack thereof habits.
Yeah. So
talk to us a little bit. Give them, of course, people who are tuning in for the first time, give us a little bit about you and what it is you do.
Yeah, sure. So I am a functional medicine guru, if you will. I've practiced functional medicine even when I was back in chiropractic school. That's like 5 years after functional medicine became a thing. And so it's just part of my life is to help people really take their lifestyle and optimize it so that we can optimize this machine right here. So that's really what it is. It's optimizing lifestyle to optimize function. It's like making sure that all your fluids in your car are filled up. It's like tuck pointing your bricks or whatever your thing is, right? It's putting that 2.1 into the app, right? Just that little bit more, that little bit better, so that you can function better. And honestly, for me, it's all about functioning better for God. So in my world, it's all about doing it for the big guy upstairs. Well, and so that I can push out a better product for him.
Well, I was going to use the scripture because, your body is a temple. I think that's one of the things that you put in there. But I think a lot of us, regardless of where your faith lies,
absolutely,
we're all looking at our bodies for 2021. This is the time of year that everybody signs up for their gym membership. Everybody starts taking yoga. All of the diets kind of go back to normal or restrictive after you feel guilty and bad for all of the crazy stuff you ingested during the holidays. And so what a perfect time to talk about that, because the habits that you want to create, that you help teach people create, are habits that are good for you, that are long-term and sustainable.
Correct.
And so we're going to talk today about Temple of Doom versus Temple of Life, because your body, listen, you only get this one shot, which I know Kris will tell you. You get this one shot at it. So if you're feeding it a whole bunch of junk all the time, it's probably not going to last as long as you would hope it would last. So
no,
I'll let the doctor take it away.
I want to put this analogy out there because I think people will be able to get this, right? Okay, so you've got two cliffs, right? And you're going to build a cliff or a beautiful temple on both sides, right? And then there's this giant chasm in the middle. And so looking at it from a traditional healthcare perspective, right? Basically, you're going to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait to build your temple until the flood comes all the way up, right? So you've got this river, it's raining, you need to have high ground, right? And you're trying to build your temple, but you're really not doing much to build it. And so basically you're waiting, and then you're like, oh crap, I really need a temple. What have I got? Right? And then you're trying to you be the MacGyver, right? You've got some paper clips and some paper and what else? I've got an exercise band. Can I make a temple out of that? Seriously. Right?
I think, but people think that one, like that exercise band, if that's all you've got, that's the key. I'm still going to eat what I want, but I've got the exercise band now. Also, I own the exercise band. So isn't that by osmosis? I'm going to have a healthier lifestyle.
Of course, I've got 2 or 3 right here.
I think people get so caught up in, okay, I'm going to do all these good things, and they have good intentions. I believe people have good intentions.
They start that way.
But then we go, oh, well, that looks good. Or, oh man, I don't really want to go to the gym today. I mean, all of the things that we feed our heads.
Right.
And so it doesn't become a habit. It doesn't become something that not only you enjoy, but that is doing good for your body.
Right. So let's look at this from a different perspective. So what if, hey, we know the tide is rising. We're going to go out and get the best paper clips, right? See how pretty they are? They're pretty, so pretty paper clips. And we're going to get a brand new stock of paper, right? And we're going to start building right now because this is the best. These are the best ingredients we can get, right? I've even got matching bands, but I've got 2 or 3 of them so that we can start building this other temple. And we're going to build it a little bit slower, and we're going to take the journey, and we're going to make this temple like stand and be stable as the tide rises, right? And yes, it does take some time. And I think that that's where people get super frustrated you don't lose you might lose 5 pounds the first week, or you might see your bicep pump just a little bit more that first week. But when you don't do the same thing the second week or the third week, then you're like, screw it. And I got a party coming anyway, and it's Friday. Why not have a glass of wine, right? Instead of going, okay, wait a minute. Did this happen in 3 weeks? Because most of the time, no, right? And not only that, but your body does not run at American speed. As much as we would like to think it does, we cannot force our body to heal or lose weight or any of those things at like warp Apple speed. Not happening.
That's such a great point. I hadn't thought of that. You're right. Because of our lifestyle that we've created in the United States and the expectation that the world and ourselves put on what we're doing, we are running ourselves ragged all the time.
We really are. And frankly, those stress hormones create even more stress for your body to be like, if I'm being chased by a tiger, I'm not giving up this fat. I might need it down the road.
Right.
And so you just undo everything that you're trying to do. That's why functional medicine is all encompassing. It encompasses the whole person, body, mind, and spirit, to take you through a journey. I know I used to hate that word, but seriously,
because it is a journey, but it's overused. But that's exactly what it is. It's a journey. It's not a sprint. It's
travel. It is taking a plane from one place and then it's like from Chicago to Bali. Like, it's not an easy one, right? You're going to take 3 or 4 planes to get there, more than likely, unless you have your own. And if you do, that's a whole other conversation, but it's just going to take some time, just like it is to build that temple. And so to create that healthy body, it does take time. And if you're not using really good ingredients, I'm not saying you have to go out and buy organic everything, but let's try some vegetables. Let's try some lean protein. Let's try some plant-based protein shakes. Let's try some things that maybe are a little bit different than what you've done before. And from the functional side, we heal from the inside out.
Right.
So like in my private Facebook group, which you are all invited to join me, we're getting ready to do January Jumpstart, and we're going to do the first couple weeks is going to be all about gut healing. Because if our guts, where 60 to 80% of your immune system lives, where more neurotransmitters, brain chemistry is made in your gut than it is in your brain, where your intuition lies, right? We have a gut feeling. If none of that's working, what's working in your body, right? We're building that really crappy temple.
I'm taking the best, most expensive paper clips, aka vitamins and supplements, and I just joined the most incredible gym, and I'm paying all this money And isn't that going to work? I mean, I love what you said, because it's a step-by-step process. You take the one vitamin and you're not miraculously 20 pounds lighter and your blood work comes back awesome. There's a whole amount of planning and strategy and structuring and restructuring that goes into what you're talking about. And a lot of times it becomes overwhelming and, like you mentioned, discouraging because you don't see results immediately.
Right. And to be honest, like in the first couple weeks, most of my clients actually do see some results. It may not be what they thought it was going to look like, right? They may not have shed 10 pounds. They're sleeping better and they're not having panic and anxiety attacks.
Correct.
They don't have, excuse this, but like they don't have like colon blow 5 times a day,
Right.
or they're actually going after not going for a week, right? Like, stuff starts to normalize in their body that they didn't even know was making them feel so crappy, right?
Sure.
And when we're detoxing and we're getting all the crap out of all of our cells and it's moving all the way through our body is a nicer way to put it.
It's still, the colon blow still makes me laugh, but that's
yeah. Then because you're normalizing function, like life runs smoother. There's another analogy I use, like if you have a high performance car, like if you're driving an Acura versus a Honda. I drive an Acura, sometimes I drive a Honda. My mom has a Honda. Her car uses 87 gas, right? And mine uses 92, 93. But if I switch that and put that crappy gas in my a little bit higher performing car, it's not going to run well.
correct.
But when we downgrade and feed our bodies this crap that Americans call food, it's like putting 87 in your tank and you think, how are you going to heal with that? Right? How are you going to heal with a McDonald's Band-Aid versus maybe a steak or a tofu Band-Aid? Right? Which is going to heal you better? Right? Which is going to heal you better? A big like head lettuce salad or like some deep greeny kale and spinach and Swiss chard? Like what's going to be better to make your body better? So that's what we do. But you're right. It's a step-by-step process. And frankly, most people have a 92% success rate when they hire a coach. 92 with coach.
Well, yes, the accountability is a whole other aspect of this.
Right. That's why I created the book, the group too. No, that's why I created my Facebook group too, because not only you have the power of peer support, and we make it's a very cool group. It's not judgmental. We're not getting down on anybody. It's all about love and support. And so when you have that support, you can have a bad day here and there, or a bad meal or a bad snack, but then you have someplace to go and go, oh, no, it's fine. Move on. What's the next best choice you can make? What's the next best choice you can make?
And that is so important. That strategy to me is where I see the most success with people. What's the next best? Because what happens then, first people either go cold turkey. Okay, I'm giving up meat and all processed foods, and I'm going to only eat leafy greens, and I'm going to drink a ton of water. I mean, all of the things that you're shocking your body, which can be good or bad, but your psyche then gets impacted. And if you stray even a little bit, you go, oh my God, I just ruined everything. And then you jump back into old habits.
Yep. This
People
all
have
or nothing.
Step by step it, like Kris is talking about, because you have to have it manageable for you. You have to get to the point where it becomes what is routine for you and what you know is good, and you're feeling better. And you can't look at social media, in my opinion, regular social media, not the group Kris has, because that is what you want. You want the support group. But regular social media, you see the person up the street who just ran 5 miles, and you're like, okay, well, I can't even run 10 feet, so I must be a failure. Therefore, guess what? I'm not even going to try. And I think a lot of people just give up before they've even put any kind of step effort into it.
Yeah. So there's 5 easy things that you can start with. Okay. We'll start there, right?
Good.
Start with water. It's easy. It's virtually free. Is it better if you filter it? Sure. If you don't have a filter, get it out of the tap, put some ice in it if you like it cold. Don't put ice in it if you don't, and drink. Like, that's easy. Let's work on, if you're drinking 2 a day, like let's drink on 4. Let's work on 4. Like, have one before every meal, right? and 1 in the morning. So that's one easy thing you can do. Oh, 12 ounces when you first get up with just a tiny bit of sea salt. Think about this, like close your eyes for a second. It's going to bathe your organs and like wash them clean after they've done a lot of hard work overnight.
People don't
It's
realize
like
how
going through the
important
car
that
wash,
wake-up
right?
is.
You know how cathartic it is when you're going through the car wash and you got all those bubbles all over your car and then the rinse comes, right?
Yep.
That's like so satisfying, right? That's going to be your 12 ounces of slightly sea salted water in the morning, like a pinch, to your organs. So start there. Start with, if you're literally not moving at all, start with 2,000 steps. Get a Fitbit, use your watch, do whatever you get, a pedometer. They're cheap.
Your
Like
phone has it on there, people.
you're
It's built-in app that's free that can track your steps.
start with
Again,
2,000
don't make it
steps.
so complicated for you. If you're not a Fitbit person, you go, I don't want to buy a whole other. You have it on your phone already. There's no excuse
Carry
where
your phone.
you can't count.
Yep. So 2,000 steps. 2,000 steps ish is a mile. It sounds like a long way, but just go ahead and do it. 2,000 steps. And then just add about 300 to 500 steps a week, depending on where you're starting. Like those are three very simple things to do, right? Shift and make sure that you're eating veggies first. Eat your veggies first. Like start with that salad, not the bread.
He's talking to me, guys. I know it. Yes.
Right. If you're going to go out, which, depends on where you live right now in the country, whether you can go out. But if you're going to go out and the waiter comes with this big foofy thing of bread, right? Like, just tell them no and tell them you want the salad fast because you're going to chew off their arm. They will bring you a salad.
True that.
And so then you can start in a good space. Like, honestly, wine and salad is way better than wine and bread for so many things. Yes, Enrique, that water is so important in the morning.
It really is. I do it every morning now. I don't know if I do 12 ounces, but I'm up there. And
Yeah,
I haven't tried the sea salt. We have a couple people asking about sea salt. Why?
Oh, sure.
Why a pinch of sea salt?
Yeah, so first of all, it's not going to taste like salty water or anything if you use just a little pinch, because it contains every mineral that your body needs. If you use regular table salt, it's sodium and chloride. If you use sea salt, you're getting manganese and phosphorus and magnesium and all these other great electrolytes and minerals that your body actually really needs. And we as Americans, again, 70% of us are deficient in vitamin D and magnesium and B complex vitamins, which is basically, it's like dropping the engine out of your car. You have no engine left. You just have an air conditioner and a heater. That's it.
It's crazy, but it's true. Yeah. Absolutely true. I had my blood work done probably sometime October, and I am deficient in vitamin D.
And you live in Florida.
And
what is wrong with you?
I don't know so my doctor said, look, you don't want to burn, but you need to be out in the sunshine, Ted. And I'll give you a supplement, but in Florida, you should be able to get the sunshine that you need, just like Kris said. So you don't realize if you can't just all of a sudden go, well, I must be vitamin D deficient. You really do need to have a real doctor, a practitioner help you with that, because sometimes what you think you're missing, you're not. You're missing something else, and you're overfeeding the thing that you have a lot of already, and you're missing out on all of the rest of it.
It's so true. I've been doing blood work for patients for almost 30 years and looking at it from a nutritional perspective. And, Floridians are deficient in vitamin D because y'all work inside. I mean, y'all don't go outside and sit in the beach and work, right? The other thing is so this will be my fifth easy thing to do. Like, put sunscreen on your face. If you're living in the South, always put it on your face. But then, like, if you can go out and stand in the sun for 10 to 20 minutes a day, like shorts, tank top kind of thing, without getting burned, work up to it, whatever you have to do, that's going to give you the vitamin D you need. You can get if you're hanging out at the beach in your bikini or Speedo, maybe not.
No one wants to see that. I don't care who you are. No one wants to see that.
If you're hanging out at the beach in shorts and a tank top, you can get up to 100,000 IU of vitamin D a day. So although there's a lot of these caution things about don't take too much D, it builds up, blah, blah, blah. We also, in this country, because of our stress level, we blow through a lot of vitamin D and vitamin B complex. So it's, and now what we're realizing with COVID, another, here's another little nugget, is people who are low in vitamin D have a much more difficult time fighting it.
Yeah.
So because it is an inflammatory, it's an anti-inflammatory hormone. It actually works like a hormone. It impacts cellular work. It turns on and off this one thing that increases inflammation. It turns it off, and that lowers inflammation over your body, and that's a good thing.
Love it. So important to listen to that and to get the right blood work and work with a practitioner like Dr. Kris Sargent, who can work through that with you. Because again, a lot of times you go to your regular doctor and you get blood work done, but we've talked about this. They go, what, 7 minutes?
Yeah, 7 hours.
7 hours of
not even an entire day.
7 minutes. They might have paid attention for 7 minutes, but it's not in their wheelhouse normally. And so you want to go to a practitioner where that is a normal thing, because then they're really evaluating what's going on in your body.
We are going to talk about labs the next time we're together.
I want to talk about labs. We've had a lot of questions about that, so I'm glad. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we're talking. I think that's our next one on January 12th. We're going to talk about labs. Yeah, and I can, we can talk about how we want to do that.
But same. You go to your doctor, you get what's this? Not CD. It's not. There's a name for that typical blood work.
Yeah, like a CBC and a CMP and
yes, and that's it. You're
right.
Nobody's really looking unless there's something specifically wrong with you for your vitamin D deficiency or your whatever deficiency.
Magnesium,
you have to have
all those things.
Special blood work done for that, and your
you can use
care normally does.
It's true. We can use your CMP and your CBC as part of a panel because there are a lot of clues in those, but it needs to be backed up with a couple more really big pieces of information. And, what I use is kind of my signature thing. And, other functional medicine doctors may add this or that or whatever. But the goal is really for me is to get your gut working so that you're absorbing what you're getting out of your food. And then, there's a base for what we need from our food. And even if you're growing your own food in this country, you are not getting everything you need.
Correct.
Because we have too much stress, it's too much screen time. We run a crazy life. And so there needs to be this base of supplements of multivitamin, vitamin D, magnesium, fish oil. Like
I want to get into all of that too. We can start talking about that on the 12th. All right. So restoreyou.com is scrolling across the bottom. What's the best way for them to get involved, to get to know you, maybe join the group that you've mentioned for January Jumpstart? Tell them.
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, Dr. Kris Sargent. I'm at Dr. Kris Sargent Life and Health Coach. I'm really easy to find on social. So that's probably Facebook is my go-to place right now because I can create my group there and it works. So
and you can reach out to me if you can't for whatever reason find Kris. You can reach out to me. I'll send you the link. But get your January jump started. It doesn't matter where you are.
No, it doesn't matter where you are. I take clients everywhere. So
anywhere. And I think we all want that accountability and the support. The support is so critical. And
well, if you really want to be successful.
All right. Dr. Kris Sargent, Sparks Faith. You guys want to go for the Temple of Life. Trust me. Thank you so much.
Build a Temple of Life.
Happy New Year, Kris. And
Happy
we will
New
see
Year.
you in 2021.
What?
Woo! Can't believe it. All right, guys. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.